This week, before the Cowboys played the Eagles in what could go down as a turning point game of this wild Dallas season. They're all turning points from here on, really. Star wide receiver George Pickens put out an article on the Players' Tribune that attempted to explain some of his past while also expressing gratitude for his present. Pickens was honest. He apologized to the Pittsburgh media for some of his past antics when he was with the Steelers and revealed that he still has a good relationship with coach Mike Tomlin, though he was one of the driving factors behind the trade that sent Pickens to the Cowboys. "They did right by me," Pickens wrote of the Steelers. "They sent me to the perfect spot in Dallas. What more do you want me to say? There's no drama, bro. No headlines to write." George Pickens making Cowboys headlines. Actually, though, there are headlines. For the second straight week, Pickens put up a monster game for the Cowboys, grabbing 9 passes in the comeback 24-21 win over the Eagles for a touchdown and 146 yards, just 6 days after logging 144 yards and a touchdown in Monday's win over the Raiders. Pickens was brought in to be a complement to star receiver CeeDee Lamb. But in many respects, he has superseded Lamb. Quarterback Dak Prescott is impressed. "It's hard for me to say it exceeds my expectations," Prescott said in his post-game media session. "My expectations are limitless with that guy. He'll tell you he's not from here. He's not from this planet. I am not going to put limitations on him. He went out there and does what he has done in games when he has gotten that opportunity and honestly at practice as well. The guy loves the game. He stays focused. Communication, I know I have mentioned before, to other guys in the huddle. Just keep doing what you're doing." Dak Prescott wants Cowboys to keep George Pickens. And then Prescott weighed in on the big issue that lurks around Pickens, one that might paradoxically get trickier and trickier for the Cowboys the better he plays. Pickens is slated to be a free agent this offseason. Prescott wants Jerry Jones to open the checkbook and find a way to keep him. "We lucked out getting a guy like that. We got to make sure we keep him here. He is a hell of a player. He is turning into a leader. He's special," Prescott said. "I was meant to get this fresh start. That part of things won't be easy for the Cowboys, who are already paying Lamb a top-of-the-market rate of $34 million per year. The Cowboys have an out at the end of Lamb's contract, but that doesn't come until 2027. It is possible that the Cowboys could move money around for Pickens. But to pay 2 receivers upwards of $68 million per year would be difficult and would sap the team's ability to pay players elsewhere on the roster. Still, Pickens is at 1,054 yards receiving already, number 2 in the NFL, with 6 games to play. Prescott wants him back, and though it will be expensive, it's hard to argue against it. And Pickens certainly wants to get it done. As he wrote in the Players' Tribune, "I swear, there's a higher power guiding all of this. I was meant to get this fresh start in Dallas. It felt like coming home in a real way." The comeback seemed nearly impossible, but quarterback Dak Prescott drew inspiration from a single word spoken by offensive lineman Tyler Booker, who spoke just one word to Prescott: believe, the same word Prescott often uses himself, hat tip Joseph Hoyt of the Dallas Morning News. Prescott carried the Cowboys offensively with a career milestone performance. He completed 23 of 36 passes for 354 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, while adding an 8-yard rushing touchdown. His 9-yard pass to George Pickens in the third quarter took Prescott past Tony Romo's franchise record, bringing his career passing total to 34,378 yards. Wide receiver George Pickens was a leading figure in the comeback, catching 9 catches for 146 yards and a touchdown, while wide receiver CeeDee Lamb added 4 receptions for 75 yards. Tight end Brevin Spanford caught his first career touchdown on a 4-yard play-action rollout in the third quarter. Running back Javonte Williams contributed 87 yards on 20 carries, complementing Prescott's rushing touchdown to tie the game at 21 early in the fourth quarter. Dallas defense shut out the Eagles in the second half with the help of off-season acquisitions Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, as well as the returns of DeMarvion Overshown and Siobhan Revel. Philadelphia, which had scored touchdowns on its first 3 drives and totaled 192 yards, was limited to just 107 yards over its final 7 possessions. The Cowboys limited running back Saquon Barkley to 22 rushing yards on 10 carries and kept receivers A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith to 110 and 89 yards, RSP. ESPN's win probability metric had given Philadelphia a 96.3% chance to win in the second quarter, and the Cowboys didn't become the favored team until 7:38 remained in the fourth quarter. The victory improved Dallas to 5-5-1, keeping them in second place in the NFC East, actively. The Eagles committed 14 penalties for 96 yards, turned the ball over twice, and went 5 for 12 on third down, allowing Dallas to mount its comeback. The defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles headed into Week 12's matchup with the division rival Dallas Cowboys, with high hopes of winning a fifth straight game and beating America's team for a second time this season. Although it seemed as though the Eagles were going to crush the Cowboys on Sunday in Dallas at AT&T Stadium, as they got out to a commanding 21-0 lead in the first half. Dallas countered by scoring 24 unanswered points to embarrass Jalen Hurts and company, who absolutely fell flat in the second half and simply couldn't contain the high-powered offense led by star quarterback Dak Prescott. A.J. Brown's message for Eagles teammates after crushing loss to Cowboys. After the Eagles let a 21-point lead slip away against their bitter division rivals on Sunday, Philadelphia's star players reacted to the epic collapse in the locker room, including three-time All-Pro wide receiver A.J. Brown. Even though there has been a lot of speculation surrounding Brown's role with the Eagles this season, as many believe he's not happy in Philadelphia, the veteran wideout showed some leadership with his advice to his teammates after the game and commented on whether these issues are addressed during practice throughout the week. Absolutely, Brown said during his media availability. We are all human, and we are all trying to put our best foot forward. It's a game of inches out there, and they get paid as well. But during the week, we're definitely addressing those things and having those conversations. Brown was also asked what he's learned about this group and how he thinks the team will react after such a disappointing loss. Not too worried about it as a group, Brown said. Not too worried about it. Obviously, there are things we want to get better with, things we're going to talk about and discuss, but overall, as a group, you're not worried about it because we've got men in this room who want to be better, want to put it on themselves. It'll be a short week for the Eagles, as they'll return to work on Friday after Thanksgiving against the Chicago Bears, who are red-hot right now, having won 4 straight games. It'll be another tough test for the defending champ in the final stretch of the 2025 campaign. Eagles still on track to win NFC East division title. The Cowboys may have won 2 straight games and seem to be figuring things out in the second half of the 2025 campaign, but it's too late for Prescott's squad in terms of competing for the NFC East division title. Philadelphia is coming off a disappointing loss to Dallas on the road, but they have a commanding lead in the division standings, sporting a record of 8-3, with a favorable schedule in the final stretch. The Eagles will face the Bears on Friday, followed by matchups with the Los Angeles Chargers, Week 14, Las Vegas Raiders, Week 15, Washington Commanders, Week 16 and 18, and Buffalo Bills, Week 17. Although the Bears, Chargers, and Bills pose significant threats, Philadelphia should come out on top against the Raiders and Commanders with relative ease, which should be enough to secure the division title and officially punch its ticket to the NFL playoffs.